Well, if you missed, if you go to bed early, you missed a lot. Oh boy, did you miss a lot. Baseball season's going to be real interesting. Part-Timer Podcast. I'm just going to jump right into it. The Boston Red Sox have done their best blockbuster impression and sent Mookie Betts and David Price to the Los Angeles Dodgers, along with half of David Price's salary. And they get Alex Verdugo. Who knows the full details of that trade. And then you also have Jock Peterson, who some White Sox fans were hoping to acquire, heading over to the Angels. And the Dodgers get Luis Rengifo. Pronunciation check. Jeff Passan is reporting that there's going to be more players involved in that deal once it passes the old medical stuff, which we all know how that can be. So, big shakeup in the MLB. I got to be honest with you. I don't know. I didn't think it came out of nowhere. Well, I guess not really out of nowhere. They were talking about it the past couple days, and I didn't think it would happen at 9 o'clock at night, Central Time. But if you were sleeping, that's what you missed. Good morning. Here's another thing that you may have missed. In that trade, the Mookie Betts trade, the third team was not the Angels, but the Minnesota Twins. Getting Kenta Maeda, and offhand, I can't remember who they traded. Pretty big arm, but a lot of Twins fans are pretty happy with the deal. Kenta Maeda is going to fill that third spot in the rotation. So now the Twins' top three in the rotation. And I said this. I know last episode I I laid into Twins fans, letting them know that, hey, let's relax a little bit. But their top three are now Barrios, Odorizzi, and Maeda. Very respectable. Now, White Sox fans are saying, oh, okay, well, our top three is Giolito, okay, Keuchel, and Cease. All right, hold on. Giolito was really good last year. Who knows how he's going to do this year? Keuchel is okay. And Cease hasn't even pitched a full year yet. Let's relax. Once you throw Kopech back in that deal, he'll probably slide into 3. Cease will go to 4 or 5 because Gio Gonzalez, they'll figure it out. But I think once the developmental period kind of rolls over with Dylan Cease and Kopech can come back, and he's not throwing a ton of innings this year, but I think the rotations are going to be very similar as far as effectiveness goes. I didn't think I would be talking about baseball again this episode, but thanks to a gigantic trade, here I am. I didn't think the Red Sox were going to send both. David Price? I mean, I got to be honest with you. If the Red Sox traded David Price to the White Sox, they would have gotten a couple top prospects. And the Dodgers didn't even give up a top prospect. Because Alex Verdugo is he's a player. He's an MLB player. So What do I think about the Red Sox now? Well, depending on what they do before opening day, or even during the season, I think they're just prepared to lose now. They're going to be at the bottom of the barrel with the Orioles, and I understand rebuilding, but I don't think that they need to. I think this is. What's the word for it? I think they're jumping the gun. I mean, in the AL East, you have three consistently good teams in the Yankees, the Rays, Red Sox, and now you have Toronto. I covered this in the last episode. But the Red Sox pretty much just threw away a chance at winning the wild card, too. I mean, that's it? If I was a Red Sox fan, I haven't looked at what their fan base looks like, but I would be pissed. You didn't get much. I get it. They're offloading salary. I understand, kind of like a Cubs situation. I don't think Theo is going to be as trigger happy as the Red Sox front office was. I think if they would have worked harder on that deal, Mookie Betts would have brought much more than what the Red Sox got in Verdugo and are getting. Because not to mention, David Price is going too. So, Red Sox got fleeced. I think there's no doubt about it. So we'll see how everything unfolds in the next couple days here. Follow on Twitter at ParttimerPod. I'll be retweeting and giving my thoughts there on everything that's happening. I know some people, Jock Peterson's coming to the White Sox. That's the third team. Nope. We gotta see how Nomar Mazara. See how he does. If you're listening on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, go ahead and leave a review. Would appreciate that. 5 stars only. I'm kidding. I appreciate honesty. If you're listening on Spotify, thank you. Anchor, everywhere else, no matter where you're listening to the episode, I appreciate the listen. And leave a comment if you'd like. Voicemail is 815-714-9044. All that information is in the show notes and the description. Tonight was interesting. Blackhawks going into Minnesota. I was really confident in this game. And the Blackhawks decided to make me look stupid. Not the first time and won't be the last. Look, going into Minnesota, a team that you play really well against, in a building that you play really well in, after a gigantic win in Arizona, and it takes you 40 minutes to tighten your skates and play. Crawford was the only one, and I mean the only one, to really be ready to play in this game. And because he had to. What else is new? 20 to 40 minutes of a goaltender in a Blackhawks uniform standing on their head, keeping the team in the game. It's been like this since last season. Third period was good. It had to be. Adam Bovequist started off with a goal, make it 2-1. And then Oli Mata with a prayer that worked. Puck's on net. You know, everybody knows the rules. And then overtime, whatever. Just the way it goes. Taves hits the crossbar. Wild come down and score. I'll take the point. Believe me. You don't got to twist my arm to take that 1 point. Hawks didn't deserve to have that point at all. But that was a big game. All of these games are big games. There's 29 left. So 58 possible points left on the board. Alex DeBrincat is pressing like I've never seen. I mean, anytime he has the puck, he's shooting. And nothing's going in. Missing the net. The good news is he's not whiffing on shots. At least the past 2 games, he's not totally whiffing, right? Can we take a positive from this? 12 goals. 41 last year. Ice cold. Ice cold. He's streaky, they say. Where? When? This year? No. After that extension? No. That wouldn't make any sense. I'm still begging the question, if the Blackhawks are buyers at the end of the trade deadline, who are they going after? Some disagreements on Twitter between a follower of mine and Minnesota Wild fans, saying Mikko Koivu has a no-trade clause, and he doesn't want to play anywhere else because he's going to be away from his family. And I just sat back and watched. Everybody loves to argue on social. I don't get it. Look, man, if you see something that you disagree with, just keep scrolling. It's a minefield. Unreal. You can't go on Twitter without scrolling past a fight. And I don't mean like street fight videos. I mean literally people going back and forth about issues that don't affect their actual life. Like White Sox fans will argue till they're blue in the face on who should be the leadoff hitter. Guys, we'll see what happens. Chill. At any rate, Hawks grab a point in Minnesota and now come back home and you play Boston. Tweeted earlier, you know the Blackhawks are back because they have back-to-back games on NBC Sports Network. Boy, was I wrong. Man, just can't get it right. Can't get it right. That was the biggest thing that's frustrating me about the Blackhawks is anytime they fall asleep like they did today, the other team doesn't take advantage of it. So it's like all of these games that they're totally shitting the bed in the first 2 periods, first period, whatever, the other team is also not playing very well. So it's like, can you just play better? I don't know what it is, if it's the message in the locker room from the coaching staff. We all know I don't like Jeremy Colliton, so who knows? The Blackhawks could be in a very different spot if they played full games. Because they don't. They don't play full games. They play 30 to 40 minutes of good hockey. And sometimes it's not even 30. I want to believe that they go on this big run, make the playoffs, and then who knows what happens. But it's hard for me to get in that camp when I watch games like tonight. There's no excuse. You weren't on a back-to-back. Okay? You didn't get to Minnesota today. You had days off in between. You played on Saturday. And you come out flat. That can't happen. Absolutely, that can't happen. Robin Lehner gets a start tomorrow in between the pipes, and we'll see what happens. They don't play well at home either. Again, I'm thankful that they got a point tonight, and they're still in it, and they'll be in it. But how many opportunities do you want to really put the pedal to the metal and get into a wild card spot and hold it? It's tough, man. Being a Chicago fan, no matter what team you live and die with in this city, it is It's frustrating. It's very frustrating. Because the opportunities are there. Like with the Bears, and we'll talk about the Bears quarterback situation next episode. But they had a real opportunity to do well in the playoffs when they went 12-4, and then, we know what happened. And then this season they go 8-8, and everybody's ready to burn down Soldier Field. I don't know, man. Being a Chicago fan is like, I don't even know what it's like. I can't think of anything. We should get that going, though. Being a Chicago sports fan is like, start using the hashtag on Twitter. Tag me in the funny ones. Tweet all of them to me. I'll include the funny ones next episode. This ought to be good. But that's where we're at. Blackhawks have, 57 points? Yes, 57 points. I'm just trying to do math in my head. Not very good at that. But we'll see. I also want to, I know that I don't give the Bulls any breaks. And I'm leading into that like I'm going to give them a break, and I'm not. Came out today that the front office is saying, no, we're not trading Zach LaVine. No, not even, no, he's untouchable. Teams want him. Of course they want him. Bulls are like, nah. No, we're just going to ride this out. Okay. All right. Your team is 19-31. There's empty seats in your building. He's pretty much the only guy who can score consistently because Lauri Markkanen took a huge step back. And you can't trade Lauri Markkanen because nobody wants him. And he's hurt. Your coach is a clown. But instead of trading away a valuable piece to possibly get more valuable pieces back, you're just going to keep him. No, we're going to suck as a group. Hey, don't break up this family. We're going to suck as a team. And don't forget that we try hard. We try hard and we're a positive group, but we're 19-31. That's all that matters. The record doesn't matter. All that matters is that we win and lose together. Give me a break. That's how bad teams get good. You pick one player, and maybe this is what they're thinking. You pick one player and you go, okay, you're the centerpiece. We're building our team around you. Is he that player? I guess that's what they're thinking. But what are you going to get? Are you just going to try? Are you just going to draft? What am I missing something here? Like diehard Bulls fans, because I'm not a diehard Bulls fan. But any diehard Bulls fan that wants to fill me in on what they think is going on here, let me know. Because I have no clue what Garpax is doing. Their time's been up for a while. Jim Boylan's got to go too. The whole nine. Strip it down. Pretty much the same thing's happening with the New York Knicks. They're getting worse. Like, everybody's like, oh yeah, the draft. We're going to draft good. We're going to draft high because our record's not good consistently, and we're going to be a good team. When is that? Rebuilds are very different in the NBA. Rebuilds, I don't want to say they don't work, but it seems like they're much less successful in the NBA than in any other sport. I'm not sure why. But that's just the way it seems. I don't think you can put a group of NBA drafted players on the floor together and just let it ride for a couple years and just see how it turns out. I don't know if that works. Sometimes getting a big star doesn't even work. The Lakers got LeBron last year and they were terrible. Now is a much different story because LeBron put his GM suit on. And now they're one of the best teams in the league. But Bulls, oh man, you're unwatchable. You're unwatchable. I wasn't even going to talk about the Bulls. But the All-Star game, that was the point. The All-Star game festivities, including the skills competition and three-point contest and the dunk contest, not this weekend, but next, inside United Center. Zach LaVine has been announced as the three-point contest participant, and Derrick Rose will participate in the skills competition. Cool, I guess. I mean, I would much. I think you would have sold. You're gonna sell out, but I think you would have much more interaction on social media. It would have been a bigger deal all around if you would have had Derrick Rose in the All-Star game back in the United Center. I mean, the storylines would have been crazy. The headlines are nuts, but I really think that I think the ball was dropped. He's having one of his best years and a very consistent and healthy year, and everybody's happy for him, but he's just going to be in the skills competition, and I think it's a little unfortunate, to be honest with you. I just wanted to get this episode out because there was so much going on in baseball, and the Blackhawks, a very frustrating game tonight despite the 1 point. As far as the Zach LaVine thing, don't cry over spilled milk. Bulls fans. At some point, you have to go, this isn't working. I'm just wondering when that day is going to be. Going to close out with some bets here. And Corey, if you're listening, you were right. And if you would have put the counter bet that you gave to me in action, you would have won some pretty decent money. So tonight I had the Hawks winning in Minnesota. Lost. I also had a 3-team parlay, all NHL. I had Edmonton winning in Arizona. I had the Capitals winning at home. And I had the Lightning winning at home. Lightning and the Capitals pulled through. And last time I checked, Arizona was winning 2-0 with 8 minutes left in the third period. So I didn't win a thing. I guess that's the way it goes. Do I bet tonight against the Bruins? Do I do that? Or do I go for the over-under? Who knows? I'll figure it out. But yeah, if you would have put that in action, you would have won. I guess that's karma for being a little bit too overconfident after Super Bowl Sunday. But you win some and you lose a lot. That's what they say in the gambling world, right? Oh, speaking of that, Barstool and Penn National Gaming, that's going to be absolutely nuts. If you didn't know, Barstool Sportsbook is going to be an app in, I think they said July or August. Not sure what states it's going to be available in. I think wherever it's legal, I would assume, right? But that's huge. I don't like how open, I guess it's the nature of Barstool, but I don't really like how open David Portnoy is about how much money he has now. I have unlimited money. Okay. No, like, I'm going to go buy a sports team soon. Oh, all right, Dave. I mean, I think you're funny. I enjoy Barstool, not Chicago. I hate Barstool Sports Chicago. Chief, White Sox, Dave, I don't like any of them. I think Redline Radio is boring as shit as you listen to this one-person podcast. Would I go on their podcast and like be friends with them? I'm sure they're cool guys. Mm-hmm. Duh. I don't think they're entertaining. But they get paid for it, I don't. I enjoy Big Cat. PFT's hilarious. That group over there in New York, awesome. Just not a big fan of how, and again, this is what made him popular, but I'm not a big fan of just how douchey he is. I'm really sure like all of these people are like cool dudes off the mic and off camera. I don't like their personas. Maybe you don't like me. I don't know. Wouldn't blame you. But that's what I got for you today. So we'll see how the trade rumors and everything like that unfold. And we'll see how the Blackhawks do tonight against Boston. Don't forget the Bulls play, if you're listening on Wednesday, tomorrow against New Orleans. I'll say it again. That's a loss. Next episode, we're going to talk about the Bears quarterback situation. So make sure to get your voicemails in and your texts in about that. 815-714-9044. I also kind of worked out the kinks here, and I am ready to consistently have guests on the podcast. And by guests, I don't necessarily mean check marks on Twitter. I mean you. The goal is to have all the fans on, just to go back and forth about whatever they want to talk about. Obviously, it'll be structured, but I want to have people on that support the show. So if you'd like to be on, let me know on Twitter at ParttimerPod. You can also follow me on my personal account at ShySportsJosh. And I'm consistently trying to release articles to not only, I guess, just put out more content in general, but I'm really trying to hit that 3,000 follower mark on Twitter so I can do this giveaway. Shout-outs are welcomed. And let people know about the podcast when you're on it, because you're going to be. Even if you don't know about sport, you're on, bro. Or broette, or whatever. All right, that'll do it for me. Again, a very disappointing night, aside from all the MLB buzz. Thanks for listening. Follow on Twitter. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, Anchor, wherever you're listening. And we'll see you next time.